Hi, I'm Mana Moini, and you're listening to the Humanity Podcast. Hey guys, today I want to talk about something that has really been on my mind lately. I want to talk about a hard truth, one that probably many of us will go through in life, and that not enough of us are talking about. Nobody tells you how lonely it is on your growth journey, your healing journey, whatever you want to call it, right? Like society talks about growth and healing and how amazing it is, and how much you learn about yourself and how it can change your life. But nobody really talks about the other side of it, which is that it's really, really hard and for many, a lonely journey. The whole premise of healing or growth journey is that you begin to change. And with change, there comes a lot of just emotions and differences that there's no handbook on how to handle. Everyone's journey is, of course, different, but I think we can all agree that the one thing that's consistent across journeys is that you will change and the old version of you will no longer be available. It's kind of like you outgrow the people and the things that you used to relate to, and that can make us feel lonely, confused, nostalgic, and sad. And let me be clear, when I say leave some people behind, I'm also referring to the old version of ourselves. It's really hard sometimes to come to terms with the fact that things are different, that you're different. I've recently had to spend a good amount of time really processing that person that I used to be. There's a beauty to being naive, bright eyed, to thinking that everyone has the best intentions and everyone cares. Like, that's something that as you grow and you heal, you realize isn't always the case. And that's a really hard truth to swallow, especially if you have a kind heart and you're empathetic. You just always assume that everybody has the same intentions that you do. When you're healing, there's truly a grieving that needs to happen. And I think that's what sparks the loneliness, the sadness that we feel at times. For those of you on the journey, have you guys ever felt like you're not as fun anymore? Like you just know too much, and the same things that you used to relate to no longer are relatable? It's a sad thought and a sad feeling, but I think what I've tried to do is step back and realize that that is exactly what growth is supposed to be. It's that you have a new perspective, a different one, an elevated one that more closely aligns with the person that you are today. I'm a sucker for journals. I've got a couple, and there's one in particular where I set my goals and kind of like my intentions for the coming months, and I like to do it in shorter time frames, like 3 months at a time. And I recently found that setting some intentions or guidelines to live by during that particular time frame has been really helpful for me as I navigate the day-to-day of life and making sure that I'm on the right path and aligned with my purpose, regardless of whatever curveballs the universe decides to throw my way. So currently there's 3 intentions that I've listed out. The first one is the question, what do you want to do? So basically, it's about understanding and aligning on what I want to do and to make sure that my purpose journey aligns with what it is that I'm saying I want to do. So for me, doing this has allowed me to more clearly understand what I should be doing on a daily basis or with the projects that I'm working on so that it all more closely aligns with the answer to what do I want to do. It's also allowed me to be intentional with the kind of impact I want to have with the things I'm doing. Ultimately, by doing this, you realize that yes, there are things that no longer align with your journey. For me, that's given me the ability to better process some of the change that's happening and to really understand that it's a positive thing if the change that's coming into your life or that you feel more closely aligns with what you want, even though it could feel lonely and different at times. I recently heard somebody say that people think your purpose is what you do, but it's actually how what you do impacts the people around you. That really stuck with me because it confirms that Not only does living out our purpose make us feel more connected to ourselves, but it's also meant to bring the things and people into your life that are more aligned with this version of you. The second intention in my journal is the concept of ripcord. Have you guys ever heard of this? It's basically a metaphor for pulling the ripcord on a parachute or basically abruptly ending something. And in this sense, it would be ending things that no longer serve you. This could be situations that leave you feeling icky, relationships that no longer align with you, a job that just drains you, like whatever it is, it's basically realizing that there's things on your journey that need to go for you to be able to heal and move forward on your journey. I'm going to be honest, ripcording things, people, or situations is really hard because as humans, we feel comfort in things that we've been around for a long time. And the ability to say, this no longer serves me, and putting yourself first is a really powerful thing. I think one of the things that makes it hard is that we want to be liked. We want to please people, and we know that by ending something, whatever it might be, someone will be hurt. People have their opinions, people will make judgments, all of those things. And I think inevitably, we just want to do the right thing. And I've had to remind myself that putting yourself first, as long as you're not harming anyone, is actually doing the right thing. Finally, the last intention I have currently is not allowing other people's opinions to define me or what I choose to do in my life. Okay, I think this one might be even harder than the one before. Like I said, we all want to inherently be liked. We want people to be impressed by us, whatever it might be. So, learning to let go of that and people's opinions is really, really difficult. It's so much easier to follow the crowd and do things that are status quo because then all you'll get is positive praise. But if you veer off the beaten path and try to kind of do your own thing, there's going to be a lot of opinions. And what happens when you start to heal and when you start to grow is that you want to start exploring some of those things off the beaten path. And some people in your life will have a hard time adjusting to that and adjusting to you wanting to do something different, to try something different. They sometimes don't know the role that they're going to continue to play in your life if you grow and change. This is probably the point where you're going to begin to question relationships and you can feel like you're no longer aligning with people. You might stop sharing things because you feel like there's judgment or not genuine support. And I guess what I would say here is this happens more often than you know. And nothing says life like seasons changing. And without a doubt, we're all going to outgrow relationships and things are going to change. But I think what I've learned is that as you grow, as you heal, new people will cross your path who understand where you're at and more closely align with where you're at today. And that doesn't mean that you don't love the people that used to be a bigger part of your life or that there's any beef. It just means that things have changed and you're now aligning with different people. I know sometimes I feel bad when I no longer fully align with someone, but I don't think that there's a need to feel bad. I try to give myself grace because I'm also walking this journey for the first time. I think as a society, we don't talk about this enough. It's not controversial, it's not a negative thing. It's just part of growing. And at the end of the day, shouldn't we want everyone in our lives to align and be with people that they truly feel at home with? Now, all of that said, I also want to remind us to be kind and respectful. And to be clear, setting boundaries doesn't mean that we come from a negative place. It actually means that we come from a loving place and a kind place and allow people the space to process and grow and continue on their own path in a way that works for them. So I've said this before. There's a lot going on in the world right now. I think more than ever, people are changing and people are finding that maybe the people in their lives don't share the same values or don't have the same compassion that they're looking for in a human being or whatever it might be. And I would again just remind you that it's okay to grow, to change, to meet new people. But always, 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 let's come from a place of kindness. Because I heard this quote and I love this. It's when we come from a place of kindness that we allow people to feel human again. I feel so grateful to have this community that I can share my thoughts with and bounce ideas off of, and just create a culture of kindness and a standard of respectful dialogue that we can all learn from. I hope this little monologue today resonated with you. Thanks for being a part of this journey. I hope you have a blessed day.